We're on. We're back. We're back. Everything froze in my. There we go. Here we go. Everything froze in my end.
The show doesn't start till we crack open our drinks,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
And we're guys in our 30s and 40s. You can tell because our drinks are just sparkling water. We're not drinking beer.
4 grams of sugar. This is flavored soda.
Mine's got 0.
Soda. Yeah. So.
Oh, Mike, how was your Super Bowl?
It was the best part of the Super Bowl was I got to hang out with my family, see my nephew, see my mom, my brother, sister-in-law.
That's how you know the game sucked. It's like, sucked,
yeah.
The best part was when I saw my sister-in-law.
Yeah. No, I'm really happy to see them. I haven't seen them in a while. So, I mean, that's always great.
Mom made a potato salad, and, my dad went to the garage at halftime, and he fired up the old grill. We were going to make some s'mores and some Italian sausage. Like the fact that you're describing the things that happened that were sort of ancillary to the game and not the game itself, goes to show you that the game sucked. We don't need to go into any break. I mean, everyone already said everything they're going to say in the last week about it. The game sucked. It was boring. The halftime show offended a bunch of rednecks, and that was it. There we go. There's the Super Bowl breakdown. It's done.
I love the halftime show. Like
I thought it was awesome.
I'm not a fan or not a fan of Kendrick Lamar. Like I think he's good. I'm not really into like trap style hip hop, but I'm not trashing it. It is what it is. But I think he's really talented. I think he's good. And I like the halftime show because this is how nerdy I get with it. I like how it was produced because they filmed it like a music video and it was all done live. And they had live aerial shots, like these old musical numbers they would do in the movies where like all the dancers, they would make shapes and stuff and they would sink in positions. Fascinating how and he kind of
the shapes were the PlayStation controller buttons because of the way the theme was supposed to be that his life was a video game and he lived the American dream or something. I thought it was awesome. By the way, I know nothing about that kind of music at all. Not dissing, I don't care. I'm a cheap date when it comes to halftime shows. I like pretty much all the ones I've ever watched. Like they're all fun. They're all these like, and again, I want to actually echo something you just said.
Yeah,
that from a production standpoint, every single one of these shows is incredibly impressive. You've just set up an entire set and a stage in like 4 minutes. Do a half an hour show and then break it down in like another 10 minutes so they can play the fucking rest of the game. And so it was cool. I loved it. Look, as long as there's flashing colors and choreography, I'm happy. I'm not somebody who has an opinion like strongly one way or the other about any of them. I thought it was cool.
The craziest part is the big song was his battle rap against Drake, where he calls Drake a pedophile. And not only that, but the entire stadium was singing with him. And on top of it, he had, what's her name? Serena Williams dancing.
Also very funny.
Crip walking because she did that on video and she got criticized for it. But she used to date Drake and she's his ex.
That was a very, very, that wasn't even a veiled attempt. That was just a very open FU is what that was. That was very funny. And that's only for the fans that knew stuff about it. I didn't even know that going in. I didn't even notice it on the screen. I just was having a good time. I was at a Super Bowl party just having a good time enjoying it. So it was cool, man. And you were mentioning the thing with Drake. Well, that's only because everyone was singing along because everyone there is an American. And here in America, we don't deal with them Canadians, even though my heritage is like, I'm like quarter Canadian or something. I'm going to talk my trash, but that's something else that happened. We'll talk about that real quick. They booed the Americans at a big hockey game. What is it called? The Four Nations tournament.
Yeah, they're doing the Four Nations tournament. This is a replacement for the All-Star weekend. And I was listening to some stuff about it on the radio. They might change this to like a World Cup thing going forward at every, like in between the Olympics or whatever. So this was like the test run, and people have been into it. And I had the game. I didn't see the beginning of it. I saw the U.S. came back. I had it on like the TV behind me, and they won like 3-2 or 4-2, whatever it was. But I missed the beginning when because it was in Canada, they were booing the national anthem, all because of Idiot in Chief has to say Canada's going to be the 51st state. Like whether you like them or not, I don't care. Like if some other country's saying we're going to make you the next part of our country, you're going to be like, no.
Well, what it is it's the Earth equivalent of, and here, ready for a nerd reference, Mike? I don't know if you ever watched Star Trek, but are you familiar with the Borg? Do you know what the Borg is in Star Trek?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So for those of you who aren't nerds out there, the Borg are a species in space that they literally go up to you and just say, like, we're going to assimilate you. We're just going to take all your shit, and you're going to be exactly like us, and we're going to absorb you into our collective. That is the nationalist version of the Borg collective, is this dude going around being like, oh, we're just going to absorb all these other countries and territories.
Yeah.
And which I understand why that's offensive. And also, too, how would that work? Because I don't know if that man is aware, but Canada has provinces, which are sort of like their version of individual states. Do they just, is that it? Are we going to absorb them all as individual states? Or is it going to be like the 63 states of America or whatever? Or I don't even, is it 14 Canadian provinces? I don't even know.
Unless we invade the country and overthrow it, or they elect somebody who goes, yeah, we'll join you. I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't know how in the world.
But I'm saying from like a management standpoint, do you just make it a one massive state?
Yeah.
Or do you take each individual or you try to combine like the Yukon with the Nunavut or whatever and make like a big super state? I don't even know.
It's the Northwest Territories. Jim Gaffigan has a whole bit about that. Like it's not even a province, they're territory. It's just territory. It's just floating land up close to the Arctic. So I don't know.
Anyway, they booed the national anthem, rightfully so. I think it's pretty funny.
I mean, we're Americans. We can take it. You boo us. I mean, we're like, look. I will say sports is the one thing that will bring us all together, because it's like, okay, Canada, I see you. All right, I know why you're upset.
You guys think you're tough, huh?
I understand it, but we're still gonna be. We still we all turned Republican in that moment. Like, all right,
yes, we all became hyper nationalists. Like, wait, are they booing us? As if like you and I were there. Like, yeah,
wait a minute. But they broke out into fights in the first 30
three fights in 10 seconds. I'm not sure if that's a record. I hope it is. Either way, I like that response, because basically it just says, like, we're not just going to sit down taking that. These people are booing us. Well, now it's kind of like the whole prison thing. Like, we're going to beat your toughest guys up right in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. They became the bullies on that prison yard. It's fun. It's fun. As far as the tournament goes, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I think it's a better idea than the All-Star Weekend, because I think that, with the exception of baseball, the All-Star game in most sports is garbage.
It's not been. This has been the talk of the day on like sports radio everywhere. So like, it's not been what it used to be. It used to be exciting. One league against the other, one conference division, whatever, against the other. And then the NBA, it got to a point where like the West would just always win, and nobody tried anymore. And then now, like, hockey is I guess just fans aren't into the game, and which is crazy, because hockey's always like fun to watch. Like, I'm not going to say I'm the biggest fan, but it is fun to watch. It's always competitive. But yeah, nobody like watches it. So they came up with this tournament to do something new. And in fact, the U.S. is going to rematch Canada in Boston. So the debate on the radio today was, are they going to boo the Canadian anthem? So it's in Boston. Yes, of course they're going to boo the Canadian.
I feel like they do that anyway in Boston, don't they? So have you ever been up that way to the TD Garden up in Boston?
I've been in Boston. I haven't had a chance to go to the
So this is totally true. Years ago, I was dating a Canadian woman. This is many years ago. For those of you who know me personally, you know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to name her. But her and I did a little winter trip up to Boston, a little getaway. We hopped on the Amtrak and went up there. And we went to see, while we were up there, she's from Montreal. We went to a Canadians at Bruins game. And it was a snowy night. It was cold out. It was hockey weather. And I think we counted like 6 or 7 fan fights in the stands during that game. Like, it's a hardcore rivalry. And I know it's going to be a similar atmosphere. Yeah. Because a lot of fans do come down from like upper New England and Canada to Boston to go see games. So I would imagine that, there's going to be enough people who are going to be up there getting ready, even if it's only sarcastic, booing the Canadian anthem. I would have to imagine.
They're probably going to do it. So, So, but anyway, it's 4 countries: U.S., Canada, Sweden, and Finland, I believe. And if this is successful, I guess they're going to expand it and do more. It's going to be like the World Baseball Classic.
Dude, I hope it is. I love getting more countries involved in sports, just in general. I was about to say an American sport, and then I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but what if like one of your star players is in a tournament and they get hurt, and like your team's on a playoff run.
And that's the risk at doing it mid-season, and that's a lot of the debate behind. Well, not to like always bring it back to baseball, but that's some of the debate behind the World Baseball Classic. Is do you really want to do it during spring training? Because sometimes guys aren't revved up, they're going to get hurt, and they're going to be out for sometimes the whole season or half the season leading into your year. And the counter argument to that is like, well, let's do it like they do with the World Cup, where they just shut down the league for 3 weeks or whatever, and they do it in the middle of the summer. I think that's riskier. I'd rather do it in the off season. Or at the very beginning of the season. So, I think you're right, Mike. You make a good point that it's not the best idea to do it in the middle of the season. They should do it. I wish, as far as baseball, I wish they would just do it in December, early December, because you think about it. Well, now there is an actual college football playoff that there's not as much of an opening, but there's not many other sports that are going. I mean, you have the very beginning of the NBA and very beginning of the NHL seasons. But like NFL, at that point, mostly you know which teams are going to be good, and there's not as many things going on kind of during the other like the weekend stuff. I'd say do it in November or December for baseball. For hockey, that's tough. I'd say a similar thing. Do it right at the conclusion of the regular other season, like after the Stanley Cup is done in June or so. Do it around do it July 4th. Do the drop the puck on July 4th.
The July 4th puck drop.
Okay, start a fight with Canada every July 4th. Okay, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to run the hockey tournament.
We should do. Well, we covered British hockey, and we had a fight from there. So British in America can fight. We'll do 4th of July and have a rematch every year.
Yeah, so they call it the Four Nations tournament. It was Sweden, Finland, Canada, and the U.S., right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, is it always going to be called that, or do they just do that as a test run? And you said they want to expand. No, they can't call it the Four Nations tournament. Are they going to call it something else? Like, are they going to call it like the American Manifest Destiny hockey tournament? Like, well, what's the
from what I thought I heard in the radio today, I don't know if this is hardcore exact fact, but it might just become a World Cup and they'll change the name and they'll let more countries in. So I don't know. This is like the first time they're doing it and they're testing the waters. Another thing they've done for the first time, the NBA had their All-Star weekend, and they had their, the skills day with the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, and then all the other games and stuff on Saturday. That was the same. But then they did, instead of an All-Star game, they had a mini tournament where they broke up the All-Stars into 4 teams, and they had a round-robin tournament. And I didn't watch it. I don't have whatever it was streamed on. I don't have. So from what I heard, it was dumb in the sense of like between games, there was a lot of downtime and like Kevin Hart would do stand up in between or something. And everybody was complaining about it. I didn't see it, so I can't judge it. And the thing I didn't like about it, even though I didn't get to watch it, is that this year we had from the Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson go, but they were on different teams. Like I want to see them play together on the same team. So I don't get it.
It's tough with basketball and with hockey, and the reason why both the All-Star games for a number of years blew is the same reason in both sports, which is that you don't really play defense that much because you don't want to risk people getting hurt. So you turn on the NHL All-Star game and the final score is like 18-15. You turn on the NBA one, the final score is like 193-167 or something crazy. It's kind of lame. It is. And again, that's why I've always said this. Baseball has the only true All-Star game because it's the only one that requires the actual skills of the sport going into every play. You're right that's weird they split it up like that, but then it begs the question of how do you do that? Because at this point you can't really ask guys to play defense because they don't play defense during regular games in the NBA anymore. You can't ask them to do it during the All-Star game. Like, well, how do you fix this?
Well, they said that there was a little. I mean, there was still people were taking 3-point shots from the logo in center court, but like it was a little more defense just because you only play up to 40 points. So I think whoever gets the 41st wins. So, they did try to, there was a little bit more competition involved, but it was still, like just guys were throwing alley-oops to each other and just doing trick plays and crazy
Which
dunks.
Is fun. That's entertaining in a blowout regular season game, but as the whole entire product for the All-Star game, it is kind of lame. And the thing you said too about They were bringing out Kevin Hart in between games and bringing out look stand-up is great. You and I know a lot about stand-up. Right. I don't know if that's the right venue for it necessarily. What they should do musical acts in between. You know, bring out your your rap acts or I mean, it'd be hard to set up a whole local band, but you know, you bring out some performers, some singers or some rappers or whatever. Do that to pump the crowd up in between. Because stand up, you could, if somebody's a bad set, you could bring the crowd down leading into the next game. Yeah. You know?
Well, somebody was like, idea. You can see one of the players I heard like in the background. He's like, all right, let's wrap this up. Let's get back to the game.
Oh, the players on the bench giving them the light? Is that what?
Like, all right, let's just go.
That's amazing.
Here's what I figured out, because the NBA, the problem with the NBA right now is too many threes, no play in the paint, lack of defense. You know, guys aren't playing as intense and following up shots and all this other stuff. Lack of fundamentals. So why don't they do this? Just take the 3-point line, keep it, but reverse it. So anything behind the 3-point line is 2 points. Everything on the other side in the paint, that's 3 points. Then you'll get guys to go in the paint. That'll make
what
it
about
better.
What's that area that's like inside the foul line? You know how there's like the 3-point line, there's like that little like that square, that
the paint. Yeah, that's the paint. Yeah, the paint. Yeah.
So the paint is 3, and then behind the 3-point line is 2.
Well, I was saying, it actually on right now it's obviously behind the 3-point line is 3 points. Anything inside of it is 2 points, even in the paint. I'm just saying reverse it, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you'll get more guys driving to the basket, because like when you're in the paint, that's the closest to the basket. So you're driving to the basket. That's what happens when you drink soda. You burp for the whole show.
Yeah, we wouldn't have you any other way, Mike. I'm usually the burper. I always thought about that too. Like it'd be funny too if they added like a multiplier. Like if you stand on certain spots on the court, you get a point. Or if you can shoot from inside the center court logo, you get 5 points.
You get 5 points.
Yeah. Okay.
They did that on MTV. Yeah. Remember MTV used to do the Rock and Jock baseball games?
Yeah.
Well, they used to do Slam and Jam basketball. And one year they did that. They had like little circles on the court. You step in it, it's 10 points. And it was amazing.
I'm not even original. But you see, and the thing is, you remembered it 20 years later because it was that entertaining.
Oh, okay. Yeah. David Allen Greer was like co-announcer. It was hilarious. Yeah, back in like 94.
Well,
it was great.
Imagine if you made the circles like pretty small. You'd have dudes like trying to bump each other and push each other off the circles to try to shoot. It'd be fun. It'd be fun. You know, they do need to mix it up, because the NBA has been kind of dragging in the ratings lately. Because there's a period where it was looking like NBA was going to be like the clear number 2 sport behind football in this country for a while. And then it just sort of, everyone stopped playing defense and started shooting threes about 10 years ago. And then everyone, even like, I know hardcore NBA fans who just make fun of it now.
No, we were spoiled. We were spoiled in the 90s. I mean, that was peak NBA. And then once Jordan retired, you had Kobe and you had LeBron and all that, but you could sense there was a changing of, obviously with Jordan retiring, it was changing of the guard, but things started shifting. I mean, now I was watching the Knicks game earlier in the week, and Karl-Anthony Towns is shooting 3-pointers and he's nailing them, which is great. But I'm like, why is the center not in where he's supposed to be by the basket? So it's just
change game, my dude.
It's weird.
Speaking of 90s basketball, we have some ads. We got some ads to go over. Yeah. I found a bunch of stuff. We were talking about hockey earlier. I found a hockey-related ad. The Rangers play the Sabres later this week, and the Knicks play the Bulls later this week. So those are the teams that I grabbed ads from. I got a hockey-related ad, and I got 3 basketball ones. So do them in any order. I will say do the Pippen one last.
Okay, yeah.
But then we're going to go through the other 3 in whatever order you feel like doing, Mike.
All right, let's start with a Chicago Bulls one. Just throw a hockey one in there to mix it up. So let's go to one of the Chicago Bull ads. Let's take a look at this one.
Everybody, clear out! I can't!
All right, so that was a commercial for basketball tickets.
It's so many guns pointed at the camera, violence.
There's guns, there's cops. So I guess the thing is, they're trying to say this is like the most valuable ticket in town.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. He's like, I'll do it. I'll burn these tickets. And back then, you didn't have your backup in your email. That was it. If that guy burned that back in the 90s,
you were done.
No one was going to that game. Those seats were staying empty that whole night.
No receipt. What year is this from? Like with the Bulls? I guess the Bulls were still relevant.
In the 90s. This comes to us, by the way, from the it's some analog something. There's a channel that has a whole bunch of old stuff. I always have to point them out. You can see the logo there, but
in the corner.
Yeah.
This is
great though. I love ads that you don't know what it's for until the last 4 seconds of the commercial.
Yeah.
You know,
like the guy pulls the ladder out, they wouldn't have just shot him. Like as soon as he moved his arm, you get 30 guys with guns and they're like, oh, what does he have in his pocket? Let's wait for him to take it out. Come on.
Also, too, I gotta say that this commercial, a lot of diversity. Okay, it's mostly black dudes with guns pointing their guns at what appears to be a Spanish guy.
Or Eastern European. He's
something non-white. Not a lot of whiteys in this ad.
Yeah.
That one guy in the beret for some reason. There's a
and they filmed it in a high school, apparently. I don't know. Like the high school gym, and then they're running up and down the steps in the hallway. Filmed well, but strange.
This is shot well. You're right. This is shot really, really well.
What are those giant?
Oh, Wednesday. Oh, there's no year on that. I'm not sure what year this is, but this is
Mother's lunch bag night.
I'm gonna assume early 90s based on that brick wall with the almost graffiti text, because that was a thing in the 90s. That was a thing.
Yeah.
Of course, 18,000 fans get a mother's lunch bag. Is that what that just said?
Mother's must be a chain out in Chicago.
Mother's lunch bag night. So after watching a guy get almost gunned down,
Mother's
lunch bag night.
You get a lunch bag for the whole family. Yeah. What are these giant balls back there? That's like the stuff they put out in front of Target. The giant red balls when you go to a Target.
Or it looks like
the warehouse,
like the subway in New York. You just see random art,
just random crap,
random big balls.
This is art. I know something.
That's kind of when I was looking for stuff. I'm like, okay, we're doing this one just because it's just so weird.
It looked like the Expendables. That's that movie that Sylvester Stallone, when he gets all the action heroes. That's how they dress. They dress like so. All right, let's go to the other Bulls commercial, and then we'll do hockey. So here's another
valuable ticket ad.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Doctor, he's having another relapse.
Great. 20 cc's hydrocine. Clamps.
Oh, I can't believe this. And I've got Bulls tickets tonight. Club level, mid-court. In fact, I think I even have one extra ticket.
You say you got an extra?
Man, that one was Wheaties water bottle night. Dude, so these commercials are both incredibly weird.
Yeah.
They're both
that comes out of a surgery. Yeah. They're very disgusting. Like, there's blood in this commercial.
This is like the kind of thing where
cutting them up.
This is back when you could take risks comedically, because these are both morbid, weird commercials, and this is
dark comedy.
This is very dark comedy. That like some guy pops out of what I assume was open heart surgery or some other type of major surgery, because he might be able to sit in the club level with the Bulls.
Yeah,
I thought that was Rodney too. When it first popped out, I thought it might have been Rodney, but no, it's just some very weird looking actor who's probably dead now because it's a 30-year-old commercial.
I think he died making this commercial. I think that was a real body. They went all out. How come the guy, like the doctor, is like,
there's blood and guns, and he's acting crazy. What they used to do, man.
Look at his eyes right here. He's got like some weird, like the reflection. He's got like alien eyes. Look at that.
Yeah,
like he's like a cyborg or something. Like what? Like he's
possessed by his desire to go watch a basketball game later.
Yeah.
I mean, that one. All right.
I forgot what I was gonna say. It doesn't matter. It was a weird commercial. That was gross.
These are fun. I don't know. I like them because they're memorable.
Yeah.
We've done the normal commercials on here where it's just like they show the basketball footage and like, come see family night and whatever and get your 4-for-1 tickets and or whatever. These are weird dark humored commercials that someone didn't get fired for making those, which is incredible.
They got to make more than one because it was for the same thing. Yeah. So
I love it.
Whatever ad agency that was, they were like, we like your twisted mentality. That's like just Gen X type of stuff, right? They were into the kind of thing. Because their parents didn't love them, I guess. I don't know.
Super entertaining stuff. I'm a fan of all that.
Yeah.
Let's
go to the hockey one.
The hockey one, yeah.
Let's do the hockey one. This is with the Buffalo Sabres, who are going to be playing the Rangers soon as the season starts up again. So let's take a look and see.
Where into?
Hot. Crab.
Side. Late.
Innies.
All through.
What do you want to watch?
Leader. This is fine. Big leader.
Adelphia cable.
What do you want to do tomorrow?
This is fine.
Okay, so there's a lot here that I enjoy. First of all, I want to ask you, Mike, do you know anyone who watches TV like this? Because I do.
Well, and I had TV, yeah, and I had cable, and I had the old box TV. Yeah, you flip through until you found something.
This is the way that my dad watches television to this day.
Oh, he's still the same? Yeah.
He does the channel flip thing.
The channel flip. So something interesting will pop in. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. If he sees something he's interested in, he'll watch that for a minute or two, and then he'll just keep going. That's like his thing. And so, yeah, it's this commercial maybe brought out some trauma in me, so I really wanted to do it on the show. That's
it's just reliving your childhood in this commercial.
Yeah, he didn't watch it in full hockey gear. I'll say that much.
Yeah. I guess these guys are in a relationship, and
they're both players in the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they live together in the same house, like Bert and Ernie or something, and they just watch TV all day. Never mind practicing for the game. Yeah. That's not important.
Well, either that, or it was back before they paid athletes enough money to live comfortably, so they had to just live in a shitty apartment during the season. Yeah. Also, I like the decor. They nailed the decor because this is what you see in like Upper New England and Canada, like the wood panel houses with the taxidermed animal, like that someone's dad shot hanging on the wall.
Yeah. This is like this is like the room in Goodfellas when Joe Pesci got whacked. It's the same weird ass kind of room.
It's the same weird.
They're eating chips, and those are when they had the.
Are they drinking wine?
I don't know if it's wine or. I mean, it looks like wine, but I think it's a little blurry. It's hard to tell. And they're eating.
That looks like wine. They look like they're drinking red wine with Tostitos, flipping through the channel. That is a weird. Buffalo's a weird place, man.
Pick up chips with those gloves because they don't really they don't have this dexterity with that stuff. This was something, and that's when the Sabres had those were their new uniforms back then, and it got to the point where like these are stupid, and they went back to their old uniforms. So they just completely changed their color scheme and look, and they look more like the Devils. Actually, I thought these were the Devils at first, and it's the old new Buffalo Sabres.
The old new. Yeah,
the old new.
I went with this because, like I was saying earlier, they play against the Rangers this week. I try to go with the teams that the New York teams are playing against, where I find it from. Yeah, this is great. This is great. I don't know what exactly this is on each channel, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But this is fun.
C-SPAN.
Cute little ad for some kind of cable company I never heard of.
Yeah, Adelphia Cable. I guess it has nothing to do with Philadelphia. It's just Adelphia. They got rid of the Phil, but we have Phil.
And they put an A in there.
They put an A in there.
All right, well, let's close out, baby.
This is the big finish. So I can already tell from the thumbnail that this one's going to be interesting. This is Scottie Pippen in it looks like a commercial when he was on the Bulls. Scottie Pippen in a commercial for some kind of sandwich. Let's take a look.
This is 1 6-footer. I can't handle one-on-one. Ladies, let's have a party.
Choose from Mr. Submarine's great lineup of your favorite subs. Mr. Submarine's king-size sub, a regular sub piled high with your favorite meats and cheeses.
For the best tasting meal around, Mr. Submarine is the real stuff.
He dunked the sandwich. He dunked the sandwich.
First of all, that's amazing. He dunked the sandwich. But is this commercial not sexually suggestive?
Totally. Look at the sandwich. I mean, it's
a vertical, cylindrical thing. Two women walk up, and then he says, "Let's have a party."
Finish this off with me.
At the end, when they say the thing, they're on their knees like this. Okay, we're about to learn
Kim and Cheryl.
The
Lovables. That's the cheerleaders were the Lovables. I didn't know that.
Chicago basketball star. Chicago. Oh, Lovables. Oh, I see. I see what they did there.
Lovables. Yeah. And right here, if you look, his knees are taller than both women when he's sitting. He's so tall. So that's
Mr. Submarine. Okay, right here. Okay, go back to where like pause on where like right there. This right here is for those of you who in your free time. This is the camera angle they use for what's called POV. Okay, children. Okay. POV is not like it's a meme for everything now, but POV is a thing you type into certain websites to get certain kinds of videos.
He stuffs his sandwich in the hole. Wink, wink. I mean, the whole thing is undertoning with smut.
Oh my god, that is. I'm gonna say it, Mike. It is a pornographic film camera angle that they use on those poor women, and for this sandwich ad. This is
I give Scottie Pippen credit for trying to act. I know he's not an actor, but let's rewatch his chops.
He's trying not to laugh his ass off too in that last shot.
Yeah, right here.
This is 1 6 foot. I can't handle one-on-one. Ladies, let's have a party.
He's like.
Keep going, keep it rolling.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I want to watch
Mr. Submarine's great lineup of your favorite subs. Mr. Submarine's king size sub, a regular sub piled high with your favorite meats and cheeses.
He is
eyeing up that blonde lady. Mr. Submarine is the real stuff.
He is eyeing up that blonde lady. He clearly wants to smash. Okay, maybe they did smash after the filming of this. I hope they did. Okay,
I'm sure they did. No, well, I mean, they could have, but these are the cheerleaders for the Bulls. I know in the NFL they had a rule that players can't fraternize with the cheerleaders.
Yeah, sure they can.
So, but
yeah, he is definitely eye fucking her there. Good for that lady taking home Scottie Pippen after this commercial, probably.
I just like 1 6 foot. I can't handle one-on-one. Ladies, let's have a party.
He looks her up while he says it.
It's so happy. It sounds so happy and innocent that you watch it, and it's completely suggestive and phallic, and
this is incredible.
That was an all-timer. At some point, we have to do an episode of just our top 30. Well, maybe not 30, but like top 10 commercials that we covered. Something like that.
Yeah, we should maybe do that. Well, we could have done like a year in review kind of thing, but we were kind of off for the holidays. But yeah, we're back now, baby. Valentine's and Super Bowl passed. We had a month off. Our batteries are recharged.
Yeah,
I'm happy. Benji, are you happy? Yeah. Benji's here sitting next to me. I don't know if you saw him walking around there.
I saw him. He's an online star. He's viral.
He is more famous than this channel by a lot. That's not exaggeration. It's a weird thing to end the show on, but yeah, it's weird when I have to walk him around and people ask him who we like. Oh, hey, Benji, and I have to explain to people like, no, like this is an actual celebrity dog that I have inside this Taco Bell.
He'll get a free food at Judy Z's. I hope that's what.
Judy Z's loves us, and we love them. They're great. Yeah. They're a great spot. So we got to do a thing there sometime.
We got to go back there. But next week we'll talk about this is the spring training hat for the new year.
Next week we're going to go over all the spring training caps, and it's going to be a good time because it's going to be baseball season soon, baby. All right, Mike. I'll talk to you next week, man.
See ya.